Hi guys, it's Tex here. It's April. This month's theme is all about getting out and gardening. Hi guys, I'm back with another Seasons of the Year video, and we're going to talk about what I did in April. So April's month was inspired by the cherry blossom. As many of you know, late March to early April in Japan is cherry blossom season. And I kind of wanted this month to be about spring ephemerals, getting out and gardening, just really embracing the beginning of spring. Now, I don't really have a green thumb, so gardening is a bit of a stretch to say, but I do really like to plant wildflowers during the spring, grow succulents, and build terrariums. But the big project I was hoping to accomplish this year, specifically during April, was I wanted to build a box turtle habitat for my turtle Franklin. However, as spring does, every single weekend this month, it was pouring rain. So I had it all planned out, I budgeted it out, and when the day came, I couldn't go buy the supplies or build the enclosure. However, I've decided to push that to the month of May, along with other things I have in mind. So hopefully we'll get to accomplish that this month, and you will get to see how that turns out. I've been telling my turtle for the last 10 years, whenever I get a house and I get our own place and an own backyard, I will build you an enclosure. And so I'm really hope we can get that done because I'm really excited about it. But it wasn't a total waste because I've been taking March's message to heart about, taking things slow, kind of enjoying the piece, soaking it all in, and I've been creating a lot more art still, especially since I haven't really been able to go out and garden the way I hoped. Also, the things I really want to do for my backyard that don't involve the turtle enclosure are a bit more expensive, so I've kind of mostly saved up my funds for that project. But I did manage to do a little bit more outside. So I bought some succulents and I planted those into some pots that I've had since last year. The original plants died. I can't keep a non-succulent plant alive to save my life unless it's a wildflower that is very self-sustaining. But those are really cute, and I also got to clean up a terrarium I built on stream 2 years ago. So I felt very productive there, and then in the meantime I also cleaned up my front yard weeds and prepped it for hopefully a flower bed that I can maybe build out in the coming months. Not really sure, because I feel like I might be missing the mark if I don't do it like now, but we'll see. We'll kind of see how that goes and play it by ear. And so far it's been about a week since I cleaned out the terrarium, but it's already starting to get a little bit more algae on its sides. It might be a little hard to see, but that is just because it sits in the sunlight all day. I'm really hoping me taking it and cleaning it didn't do any long-term damage to it, because as I said, I've had this terrarium for 2 years. It's been sealed for 2 years, and I just decided to clean it last week. So I'm hoping it stays all alive and everything. If all else fails, I can add more water. I think that's really what kept it alive. I'm honestly surprised because I planted succulents in this, and I think I planted other things besides succulents, but surprisingly, those have dealt well with the amount of moisture in this jar. So I'm not complaining. I'm very happy, and I hope it's a long-term sustaining. I did put isopods in this at one point, but they must have died. Probably because, they don't live forever, and I don't think I put enough in there for them to mate. So, I'm sure he's somewhere in here, but I didn't think about that. I also didn't really want this getting overflowed with isopods, so it's probably best if he passed away. It was probably not the smartest idea for me to put him inside. And this is just one of the succulent sets that I potted as well. This was a cute little housewarming gift I got last year. It had a totally different plant in it, but I saw these lithops. I learned about lithops from Reddit actually a few years ago, and I just thought they were so funny because they look like a butt. And I saw these little plants that I thought would be perfect to put around it. Now I have no idea if it will last long like that, I think from some things that I had read is that lithops can get a little too crowded, so I'm hoping I didn't crowd it too much by adding that extra plant in there. I just thought it was a cute touch. But no, I think it's funny. I can call it my little butt plant, and at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, it's fine. I'm just trying something, seeing how it goes. Also, before I forget, I did manage to upstart my isopod colony again. I haven't really gotten the chance to talk about this much on my channel, but I used to run an isopod colony a few years ago. I started with 7 isopods, dairy cow morph, and they grew into a huge colony, and I was able to save some of them for my turtle's tank, and I keep a lot of them in there to help clean up any mold growth or any loose food that he doesn't eat and just keep it clean. But the colony itself was becoming hard to manage, so I eventually just opted to keep them alive in his tank instead of in their own separate colony. But now I've decided to bring them back. So I have this little box that I've kept them in. This is what they originally started in, and it has been empty for about 1.5 years, something like that. But, you know, I kind of got a hair up my butt that I wanted to try and rejuvenate the colony again. So I separated some of the isopods that still remain in his tank, put them in here, and I'm hoping I can get them thriving again. My only problem is, I don't know if I put too much water or the wrong items in here, but it started kind of having a mold problem. So I had to get rid of a lot of those before it killed off the 5 that I had in here. I'm still trying to locate all 5 that I started with to make sure that they're doing well, because I know one of them was pregnant. So we'll see how that goes, and I might update you guys as I go along. I think I plan to have a whole separate video about this, but this was another project I did as part of my goals this month. So they're all in here, and we'll see if it succeeds. In other non-plant related news though, this month I did also get to go to a gaming con in my area. It was small. It was like the first time that this con had been held near me, and I really enjoyed it. I got to go with friends. I will say it was kind of a small venue, but it seemed like it had a pretty good turnout, and I think it would have been more successful had it had like a bigger venue. But I found out that I can actually apply to be a vendor next year, and so I'm really excited about that because the booth fee was actually pretty reasonable, and a lot of places often scrape a little off the top of your profits, and this one doesn't do that. So I'm really excited. I've got to come up with a lot of items and product to be able to sell for next year, but I think I am onto something. I have a few ideas, and I'm hoping it'll work out, and maybe I can show you guys what that will look like soon. But you know, while I have been using a lot of downtime to take March's mantra of getting more in touch with rest and trying to be creative again, I also want to be outdoors more. I really tried to do that in April, and it just didn't work out, but I have some things in store for May, so I'm excited to see where that takes me. I really don't have a lot left for this video since my biggest plan kind of fell through. But at the very least, I can say I've been enjoying the rain. Even though it has spoiled my weekends, it has also been very nice and relaxing to read by the rain, sit outside and enjoy it, and just really soak in spring because it doesn't stay for very long. I was a little bit productive in the plant area too, so there's that. And even though I did not get to build the enclosure, I got to plan it out, and it should be just up and ready to go by the time I have a free weekend to do it. This is just like a perfect example of how you can kind of set a goal for yourself, or, you know, something you want to accomplish, and things completely out of your control can take it away. And I'm not getting down yet. It's gonna happen, even if it takes a few weeks, a few months, even if I have to wait till next year. I'm just glad I kind of started pushing the momentum in that direction, and I have an idea of what I want to do. I have a lot of cool things I want to plan, and hopefully I can eventually build like porch ponds too. That's another thing I wanted to do this month, and that one was a bit of a reach, but it was like, oh, if I'm doing this, I could do this, and And none of that happened, but, you know, I'm starting to think about these things and kind of what I want to do, and it's just nice because I can often get too cooped up inside. I'm not really a homebody. I'm kind of like an in-between, but I often default to inside because it's convenient, it doesn't cost me money, and I have everything I need inside. I can read, I could do art, I could stream, I could play games, but sometimes I forget to just go outside. Go outside, see the sunshine, plant something in your garden, tend to your yard, like very basic things, but I find that those things bring me peace just as much as sitting inside does, and I just need to get over my laziness and just remember that, you know, that's like an option. You know, I can still do these things. So I don't know, maybe that will be encouraging to some of you that may have some outdoor chores you need to do or projects you wanted to start. Just start planning it. You know, even if you don't get it done, just start kind of pushing the momentum in that direction. In the meantime, if there's anything that you plan to do this summer or have already started working on this spring, feel free to tell me about it. If you've decided to do a similar seasons of the year for yourself, share with me. I'd love to hear it. I think it's been very refreshing. Like it gives me structure without obligation, but it's kind of just what I need to push myself. So here's to hoping May is even better and I can continue to do more cool things and share them with you. Thanks for watching, and see you guys again soon.